much about history.
Hi, and welcome to Seed Grower Stacker's channel as we look back in history through coins. Hi, and welcome to Double Dime Part 2. As you recall, previous video was on the double dime, also known as the 20-cent coin, where we went over the history of the coin. But wait, just in, we have some breaking news. We have Seed Grower Stackers 1875 20-cent collection. You may recall from the last video, the 20-cent coin was a very short-lived series. In fact, it barely was in circulation for 2 years. And 1875 was the only year that all three mints, the Philadelphia Mint, the Carson City Mint, and the San Francisco Mint, participated in minting these coins. Let's see what PCGS had to say about the 20-cent coins. They have a little bit of commentary on each one from each mint. I'll let you pause the video and read it for yourself. But as far as the Philadelphia Mint, they only produced a meager 37,000 20-cent coins, despite what was supposed to be a huge fanfare. Well, Carson City did mint some of these coins in 1876. They melted most of them at the mint before even making it to circulation, thus making the 76 Carson City an extremely hard to find and very expensive coin to collect. While the 1875 version still wasn't a huge mintage, many of them are still out there and somewhat reasonable to collect. The San Francisco Mint did only mint these coins in 1875, but minted over 1 million coins, so they're probably the most easily still found in existence. But since they didn't mint any in 1876, if you want to collect the complete set from each mint, Philadelphia, Carson City, and San Francisco, the 1875 coins are your best bet, only because that's the year that all three are available and are what I would consider reasonably easy to find and pay for. At least, relatively speaking, of course. This leads me to today's video, where I'd like to share my mini collection of 20-cent pieces from 1875. As you can see, I have one from Philadelphia, one from Carson City, and one from San Francisco. And let's look at each one a little bit closer. Here we have the obverse of the Philadelphia. As you can see, there's some scratches involved. I don't know if it was poor cleaning or what. But what I'm pointing out here with my sophisticated pointer is there is some detail on the hand holding the shield, and a little bit of the right side of the shield is still visible. Also, there's still some denticles on the rim. If we go to the PCGS photo grade, we can go ahead and see if we can't figure out what kind of grade we're looking at for this coin. As you can see here, here's the obverse for the G4. Here's the obverse for the G6, which of course stands for good 6. And just for fun, let's take a look and see what the obverse for the VG8 looks like. Okay, so once again, we have the obverse for G4. As you can see from the arrows, shield's completely obliterated and there is no detail on the hand holding the shield. Very slight evidence of denticles. Okay, so on the G6, You can see by the arrows that there is some detail of the shield, especially on the right. And definitely the hand is showing details, as well as the denticles on the rim. Here we have the image of the obverse of the VG8, and as you can see, most of the shield is visible, as well as the hand and the denticle. Okay, so once again, here is my Philadelphia coin. And again, since you can see from the arrows, I think it closely relates to the image we saw for the G6, so I'm going to go ahead and call it that. Now, of course, the scratches may deter a grade of G6 and drop it down to G4, but this is just an exercise for fun. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the reverse of my Philadelphia coin here. Again, using my handy dandy pointer, let me go ahead and point out the denticles on the rim, features on the face, some details on the feathers. Pretty nice. And let's go ahead and move that up a little bit. My major area of concern here has to do with the word sense. Let's see if I can't get a better picture of it here. Okay. It's kind of hard to use this thing one-handed. Okay. So let's see here. If we focus in a little bit better. Yeah, okay, let's see. So sense is definitely there. You can see the C and the E and the N and the T. Now let's put a little better light. So again, C, E, N, T, and you can see the S, but it's very faint. So that is definitely an area of concern. Okay, back to the PCGS photo grade. And as you can see here, we have the G4 version. And from the arrows, not much detail on the feathers, hardly any denticles on the rim, but the word sense does appear much clearer than it did on my Philadelphia coin. Let's move on to G6. And okay, so the denticles are much more prevalent. Again, sense is very clear, and we're starting to get some details on the eagle's feathers. So we are getting close, I think, to determining the grade on this one. Okay, and just for fun, let's go ahead and look at VG8 again. Here you can see this coin is much better than my version. So I'm going to go ahead and here's my coin again. And based on everything considered, I'm going to go ahead and give it a G6. Again, given the fact that sense is not as clear as it should be, could make it a G4. So again, just for the fun and the exercise of it, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest red book and see what this coin might be worth. As you can see here, G6 is not available. So let's just go ahead with the G4, which is $220. Now again, Redbook is a retail price, something you probably expect to pay at your local coin shop or even coin show. And it's certainly not the amount you could expect to receive if you took it into your coin dealer wanting to sell it. Okay, here we have the obverse of my Carson City 20-cent coin. And again, as you can see, it's 1875. And the denticles are pretty clear here on the rim. We got a little bit of the right side of the shield showing. And let's see, and let's get a little closer look at that. And I'm looking at her hand, which isn't quite as clear, but it's definitely there. And we have a few scratches, as you can see. Again, I don't know if that's from clean, but let's face it, it's, what, a 150-year-old coin. Probably was cleaned at some point in its lifetime. So we'll cut it a little bit of slack for that. Okay, here's the G4 picture from PCGS PhotoGrade. As you can see here, there's basically no denticles on the rim. Shield in the hand are obliterated. So let's move on to G6. And as you can see, it's much closer to the version I have. Denticles on the rim, the hand is there, right part of the shield. I don't think there's any reason to look at VG8. Okay, back to my coin. Again, based on everything concerned, I'm going to go ahead and give it a G6. Again, could be G4 since the hand's not as clear. Let's face it, G4, G6, it's all good. See what I did there? Okay, let's go ahead and flip this coin over so we can see what the reverse looks like. And here you have it. Again, Carson City. Let's take a look here. We got some nice detail still left on the wing feathers. And of course, the mint mark is clear, Carson City. All the words, United States of America, 20 cents is clear. And we've got nice denticles on the rim. Back to PhotoGrade, and here we have G4 again. Again, denticles not quite as clear. Detail on the wing feathers not quite as clear. Although the word 20 cents is, and of course the Carson City mint mark is also pretty clear. As you can see here, I skipped straight to VG8 because I think that closely resembles what I got. In fact, VG8 is what I'm going to give this coin. We certainly have a split grade on this coin. So you can see here the difference between G4 and VG8 is the difference between 220 and 244. So once again, just for fun, let's split the difference and call it $230. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the 20-cent piece from the San Francisco Mint. Here we go. Let's go ahead and point out lots of detail on the rim and the denticles, and a nice little luster to it. Let's see if we can't focus in better here. The light's not terrific, but let's see if we can get some detail on Lady Liberty herself here. Okay, there we go. Now you can see. Yeah, we got a full shield. We got Liberty. Better light there. Got full shield, Liberty. Her hand is quite clear, holding the shield. And let's see here. Let's move her down a little bit. Yeah, definitely got nice detail on the face. You can see her hair, her dress, and details on the Fijian cap. Okay, let's take a look here. And that would be your extra fine 45 and your AU 50. And again, let's go to AU 53. Okay, I think we're getting closer here. And just for fun, let's look at AU 55. And you know what? I think that's pretty close. Let's look again at ours. You got the full details there, the stars, her hand, the shield, her face, her dress, the Fijian cap. I'm going to go ahead and call it AU 55. Okay, let's flip her over and take a look at the reverse. And it's looking pretty good as well. And let's see, let's go ahead and get the whole coin in view here if we can. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice to me. We got lots of detail back here. And let's see. Yeah, full denticles, rim looks strong. Yeah. Got United States of America 20-cent piece. The feathers on the wings and the breast are clear. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, let's see if I can't get a little better picture on. There's the S-mint. Yeah, let's get a closer look at that. Okay, sorry for the, it's not easy to do with one hand. Okay, yeah, again, great detail on all the feathers. Looking really nice. Look at the detail on the face. That eagle's looking ready to go. Yeah, there's that clear mint mark. And look at the details on the talons. Yeah, this is a beautiful coin. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead straight to the AU almost uncirculated 55. That's what it looks like on the PCGS photo grade. And again, just look at the detail on the breast, the wings, and the face. The clean mint mark, the talons, the legs. I'm going to go ahead and call that an AU55. Okay, here we have our red book again, and as you can see, AU55 is $4.95, and even if it was below that, $4.10 for the 53 and $3.90 for the 50, let's just say, for the sake of conversation, we'll call it $430. Okay, here's my little mini collection again. So again, we have the Philadelphia at $220, the Carson City for $230, the San Francisco for $430. If I can do the math in my head correctly, we're looking at $880. Again, not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly attainable. And for this little 3-coin set, you got a lot of history here. So it was worth it for me. Hope you enjoyed it. If you made it through the whole video, congratulations. What do you get? You get my heartfelt appreciation, and such is the constitution of the human mind, that any kind of knowledge, if it be really such, is its own reward. And remember, yes, coin collecting can be fun, but if you're not careful, you might learn something. Please make sure you comment on this video, and keep an eye out for part 3 coming up in the next few days.